One good thing about Trump, he really, really does not like war.
Which I love that about him.
I kind of do, because I don't want war either, and most of them are unnecessary.
So Bill Maher just continues to be praising Trump. I do like the fact that he comes off a lot more objective. Like, he genuinely seems to have his own opinions on things, regardless of whether the left supports or hates his position, as well as the right. Like, he doesn't care. It's just, I believe what I believe, I think what I think, and I'm willing to grow and change based off what I've been seeing with him lately in the last few years. But he has some thoughts on Trump, and he has RFK's wife on his podcast as well. They're discussing some experiences, some conversations they've had with him, and it's interesting. So you get to see another side of who Trump is outside of what he presents to the American people. So before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to RTM News, because it ensures YouTube that you're enjoying these videos, and in turn, they will continually show up in your feed and they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
One good thing about Trump, he really, really does not like war.
Which I love that about him.
I kind of do, because I don't want war either, and most of them are unnecessary.
Agreed.
I mean, he took a long time when I had that dinner with him talking about the pictures he sees coming from Ukraine, the stuff that doesn't get out on the news. It's like raw footage of bodies in the field.
Yes.
And you could tell it really moved him.
He's
like, I do not want to see this, and I'm the kind of guy who can fix this, at least. You know, he's never not going to be Trump. So, of course, he's like, I solved 9 wars. And, okay, even if it's half that, it's still good that we're solving them and not starting them.
That's the thing that I find that I really like about President Trump when he talks about wars and talks about Ukraine. And he talks about Ukraine and Russia, and he will say they're losing people on both sides, and it's not just Ukraine is losing people. It's not just Russia is losing people. He sees like both sides. This is a true loss for both sides, and you can feel it from him when he talks about that loss. I mean, I do. I
remember thinking that there was a panel he did before he won, obviously, before he won the election, and I think it had been after he announced, but he was on CNN. CNN's ratings were really awful at this point, and I mean, I think they still are. And he was on there talking with Caitlin. I don't remember her name. You know what I'm talking about, the one who looks like that one conservative gay. I don't know his name either. He like helped win Pennsylvania or something. Anyways, she was talking to him. Who do you want to win the war, Ukraine or Russia? Who do you want to win the war? And he was just like, I want people to stop dying. He's like, well, do you not condemn what's happening, what Putin is doing? Do you not want to come against all the, because the left is pro-Ukraine, and I don't think the right's pro Russia by any means, although some probably are. It's more of a, they pick the victim, and then they want you to basically align with whatever they are choosing to be the right thing to do. And he was like, I'm not going to just pick one. I'm going to say what I think to be true. One, if I was in office, according to him, this would not be happening. This war would not have happened. Putin would never even overstep like that if I was in office. And two, I don't care. It's not about who wins. It's about saving lives. It's about the fact that all these people are dying, and that's not okay. And I mean, I think everybody appreciates it. I think everybody appreciates that. And I think that's probably a reason why a lot of people voted for Trump, because of the promises of ending the wars on day one, which obviously didn't happen. But, he isn't a fan of him, according to what he said, and based off his track record in the past. The first term, that seems to be the case. In the second term, these already started, so it's a little different. But I appreciated that about Trump too. But I have another clip I want to show you guys from this podcast, so let's get into it.
What somebody was just asking me about when I met him, what surprised me the most, and I said I was surprised that he really likes to listen to people. He's very curious and what you have to say.
They hated when I said that. Again, because I'm.
It's funny because that is true. I mean, I've talked to the man literally twice in my life. Once when I went to the first time I ever saw him at a rally, I was asked to go by my parents, and I went, and I didn't know anything about I didn't pay attention to politics at all. And it was in 2015, or I believe, yeah. And we went to the Deltaplex in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he was speaking there, and I was like, oh, he doesn't sound as bad as they're talking on the news. They definitely were saying things that weren't necessarily true or even stated. I remember watching the news and I be like, that's wrong. But he was kind, shook my hand. I said, can I get a picture? He goes, you better vote for me or whatever. I was like, oh, totally. Then the second time I was working for RSBN, going to a lot of rallies and talking to the people. in the crowds who were going to see Trump and just asking them why they support him and what their thoughts and beliefs are. He saw me on there. He was talking with Senator, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Wesley Hunt. And he was like, he wanted to talk to me. He asked his campaign manager if he could talk to me. So I went to this back room during the rally before it started. And he said, you know, I love what you're doing. You're doing great work. And he really was just sitting there willing to let me talk. Even though there's a lot of people waiting in line to talk to him. And he was just like, we got to save this country. This country's, you know how he talks. And I was like, yeah. So that's true. It's not just, they're not just blowing smoke. He does listen to people that he's talking to.
Just telling you what happened. What, should I lie?
I guess so. I guess
Right.
that's
He
what they
kicked
want.
me in the balls under the table. And then
Like I knew he would.
He threw the spaghetti against the wall when I raised the subject of tariffs. No. No.
Yeah, he listened.
I think he actually wants more people around him for a stimulating conversation.
Yeah.
I was very surprised at, and mentioned it again, they hated me for it, that as opposed to so many important people I've met who, when you talk to them, you don't feel like they're really listening. They're kind of like, you know what I mean? And then when they answer you, it doesn't quite track.
Yeah, because we're just sitting here like, no, totally, yeah. Vague answer that like could be a myriad of different, could be a response to a myriad of different things that were stated. Definitely. But yeah, there's a difference between hearing or listening and hearing. And I think that's the distinction they're trying to make.
They're just waiting for their turn to talk.
Yes, or they're just on a different level. I mean, these are show people too. I've had that. But I didn't get that with him at all.
No.
I got a guy who looked in my eyes, was listening to what I said, waited until I finished, even when it was contradictory, when it was he never got blustery or mad about it. He said some things that I don't agree with and some things that I think are just, plainly not right, like, third term. Yeah, I think you could do it. I'm having people look into it. No, you can't do it.
And you shouldn't try.
And you can have people look into it from now until the end of time. It's like 12 words in the Constitution. You can't do it. But he didn't get mad.
Right.
And then I also made the point that, I went home that night and I was getting into bed in 60 Minutes. I taped it. And there he is on 60 Minutes and he's like ranting and raving. I'm like, who's this guy? This is not the guy I met.
Yeah.
And so I'm just the reporter here. I'm just telling you.
This was my experience.
If this is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, find a way to work with Dr. Jekyll.
I'm not gonna lie, that's still problematic. You talk like this to me in person, but online you're a completely different person. Or not. Yeah. Like, okay, so you're not as unhinged as you may seem to be in the public eye where you are representing the country, but in private conversations you seem more reasonable. I think we should maybe shift that, or just be as open. Just be the same. Just be the same everywhere. And obviously, there's a difference between personal relationships and like just random strangers. But I don't know. I think there should be a distinction. There shouldn't be that massive a distinction in who you are and how you operate. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to comment down your thoughts below. I want to know what you guys are thinking. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.